Okay, so you're going out on your own. You've decided you're going to open your law firm. I think one of the first questions that you're going to have, at least that I had, was where am I going to get clients from? How am I going to find clients? Because you need clients, right? Of course, you're opening a law firm. We need to get clients in your door. So let's talk about some of the ways to get clients in your door when you are first going out solo, whether you're fresh out of law school, whether you're transitioning from a big firm or a smaller firm or something entirely different. Let's talk about how you just start getting people in your door and get your phone to ring. Well, if you're coming into your law firm, I'm assuming you know what practice areas you're going to be practicing in, or at least that you want to practice in. I would say one of the first things that I would start doing is start pitching yourself as a speaker in front of other lawyers. That's going to be the quickest way to get yourself in front of other people who may have referrals for you and will look to you as an expert in your field. You don't need to know a whole lot about your practice area to be a speaker on that practice area. You only need to be about 10% ahead of your audience. So if you practice in one practice area and you're speaking to attorneys who don't do what you do at all, you are far more than 10% ahead of them. So I think one of the first things to do is start looking at how you can pitch yourself for a speaker. I'm on a number of boards and committees at our state bar level and our county bar levels, and we are always looking for speakers. A lot of these organizations, they have monthly meetings. They're looking for speakers for their members to get them CLE credits. One of the first things I would do, so if your practice area is family law or bankruptcy or personal injury, estate planning, probate, it doesn't matter what your practice area is, you're going to want to identify other practice areas that could potentially have referrals for you. So for one of my practice areas, I do bankruptcy. So for me, talking to real estate attorneys, talking to family law attorneys, there are a few practice areas where there's quite a bit of overlap of referrals between attorneys. And so being able to speak to attorneys that could have referrals for me is one of the first things that I started doing. Also talking to other organizations that aren't practice area specific, like your solo and small firm sections. That could be a great one to speak in front of people who you're going to know at least 10% more, even if you're just starting out. But especially if you're transitioning from a small law firm or a big law firm, you have a lot of experience. So getting yourself in front of them is going to be one of the best things to do to start establishing yourself as an authority and a referral source. I have talks that I've done from like maybe 4 or 5 years ago that people still refer to me from that presentation that I gave. I will tell you one thing that happened. Gosh, 4 or 5 years ago, I gave a presentation to the state bar about bankruptcy. And somebody happened to see it who knew a producer at our local news station at King 5 News. And that turned into me connecting with a producer over at King 5 News and landed me on their show, on a news show here. I've been on 3 times talking about finances because of my bankruptcy presentation that I did 4 or 5 years ago for a group of attorneys who didn't do bankruptcy. And so just you never know what opportunities where they'll come from. And so by doing one thing, you never know who is in that audience, who could have a referral for you, where that can lead to. So even though speaking in front of others, for some people it may be scary, I really enjoy it. I like being in front of people and speaking. I prefer it in person. But you know, we'll take Zoom, we'll take whatever we can get, especially if you're just opening shop. And so figuring out how you can get yourself in front of other attorneys, and if there's other professionals who aren't attorneys but that would be a good referral source, figure out how you can get in front of them to speak about what what you offer, what your practice areas are, but not as a commercial about yourself. The presentation is going to be you providing valuable information, valuable knowledge for those people who are in that practice area or who may have people who need your assistance. So that's where I would start, is figuring out, who can I talk to? How can I get in front of other people? How can I let people know that I am here? I have shop open and I'm ready for business. So that's my first thought as far as how to get in front of other people and what I did when I went out on my own. Secondly, writing blogs. I think blogs is a great way to get information out in front of other people who are looking online, especially if you live in a certain, town, city. If you're writing a blog as the authority on a certain practice area that you do, you're going to be seen more and more the more that you write, and doing so consistently. Now, when you do this, I recommend that you write once a week, but you're not actually going to write it once a week. You're going to set aside 3 or 4 hours, you're going to block out time, and you're going to write at least 6 or 8 blogs, all in one sitting. And then you're going to schedule them to post on your website once a week. We don't have the time to sit down once a week, every Tuesday, to write a fresh blog. No, you're going to batch your time. We're going to be efficient with our time because our time is very valuable. You're just starting out. And so I would say block out about 4 hours, knock out 6 or 8 blogs at least, and then get them scheduled either on your website platform or just have them ready to go so you can just post them once a week whenever you want to post them. You're going to share them on your social media, and if you can write blogs for other organizations, so not just for yourself but other local blogs, like here where my firm is, I write for our local cities have a blog that's pretty popular and talks about news and events in the area, and so I write a blog for them as well. Has been a great way to get my name out locally in the community, especially for my estate planning practice. So I practice bankruptcy, real estate, and estate planning probate. And so when I would write blogs for bankruptcy for this neighborhood blog, it really wouldn't get as much traction. I really wouldn't get a lot of calls for that. But when I write about estate planning and probate, and even real estate, but really my estate planning, that's when the calls come in. So you kind of have to test them out and kind of see what type of blogs speak to your audience and whoever you're writing for. But I quickly figured that out, and so now we primarily just write the blogs for the neighborhood blog on estate planning and probate. But for my website, I write on all things: my bankruptcy, my real estate, my estate planning, my probate. And if you're wondering, well, what am I going to write about? Start with your website. If you have your website up, go through and just pick things out of your website. I would Google some FAQs, some frequently asked questions about your practice areas, and write about those. Topics that are your top 5 tips, top 10 things, top 5 things to not do, how to avoid this, that, or the other, are great topics for blogs that people love. And people will read them and contact you after reading your information. And so make sure that you can commit to it on a regular schedule. So again, you're going to batch your content. You're not going to write it once a week. You're going to sit down and batch it and write it out. But if you're going to post it once a week or twice a month, whatever your schedule would be, try to do so on a consistent basis. And now, so let's go, that's number 2. Let's go to number 3, a YouTube channel. So I did not want to do a YouTube, and here I am on YouTube now talking to you, but I didn't really want to do a YouTube channel for my law firm. What I wanted to do was have videos on my website, and I have my website through Find Law at this point. And when I reached out to them and said, hey, I want to have videos, well, if I hosted my videos on my website, it was going to take up too much space and really slow my website speed down, which I did not want. So my rep said, well, you can just put them on YouTube and make them private, but at least host them on YouTube, and then we will showcase like the thumbnail on your law firm page. So you have that video there, but it's hosted on YouTube. But then I was like, well, if I'm going to go through all this work of making these videos and putting them on YouTube, I'm not going to make them private. I might as well make them available for anyone to see and make them public. So that's what I did. And I started my YouTube channel like a year ago for my law firm. This Dow Law Firm is the name of the YouTube channel. And I have like 130 subscribers. So you're not doing it for the subscribers. You're doing it to get, at least I'm not. But you're doing it to get the content out there and to have content for my website. It creates content for our Facebook page. And some of my videos have a couple thousand views. And I get calls from people who say, I watched your YouTube video. I need help with my LLC. My LLC videos are some of my bigger ones. I think a couple have like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 views on them. And I get calls for paying clients who need help with an LLC or forming an LLC. Those are my most popular ones. Also estate planning, probate, and bankruptcy, not as popular, but I think getting that information out, and there's not a lot of attorneys who are creating the YouTube videos, especially in your area, wherever you are, like where I'm at. I don't have a lot of competition on YouTube. So if somebody is searching for, a Seattle area bankruptcy attorney or estate planning attorney, I would not think that people will be looking for that on YouTube, but it turns out they are. And so you want to be there, and it's free. And I would keep your videos short. Mine are around 4, 5, 6 minutes. I do not go over 10 minutes. I think maybe I have in the past a few times before, but I don't anymore. I think about 5, 6 minutes is a sweet spot where I'm answering one question. And so I think it's a great way to get content out there, and it's a great way for people to feel like they've met you before they even called your office. They've heard your voice, they've seen you, they've seen how you communicate. And so people like kind of getting to know you when they're deciding who to contact. Because while there may be very few attorneys who are doing YouTubes in your area, there's a whole lot of attorneys who are doing what you do. And so this is going to help set you apart from those other attorneys, is putting out the video content and being comfortable to do so. So I highly recommend it. I didn't start doing it until about a year ago. I wish I would have done it sooner, but you know what? I'm doing it now, and it's been great, again, for creating content for social media, for my website, and it actually, gets some additional phone calls every month for my services. So another great one to consider. Again, if you're going to do that, batch them, sit down, record a bunch of video, change your shirt a few times, and just make a bunch of videos, and then have them ready to go. And in YouTube, you can schedule them to post at a future date and time. So get them scheduled out for the next 6, 8 weeks, and then you don't have to worry about it until it comes time in about 2 months to record some more. All right, and then the last one is social media, and these are all free ways to get yourself out there. So the speaking engagements, the blogging, the YouTube, the social media, these are all free. So Facebook is a great one to have. I'm not a huge fan of Facebook. I wish I didn't have a Facebook, but in order to have a business Facebook page, you have to have a personal Facebook page. Hence, I still have my personal Facebook page. But besides having your business Facebook page, make sure you are in your neighborhood group pages. So for where my office is, I'm I guess you call it a member of the local pages. And so when people are looking for referrals, I have had clients refer me and then tag my firm for other people to know how to reach me. And I've done nothing. I don't even realize it until I get the alerts on my phones that someone has, I get the notification that someone's commented on me or mentioned me, and then it's like, oh crap, like what is being said, right? And then you go in and it's like, oh, someone's referring you for your estate planning or your real estate and how you help them, and you have people who are vouching for you, and these are real clients who are talking to other members in the community. And so making sure that you're a part of your local groups as well as having a business page, highly recommend it. And so it's been great for us, and it has garnered paying clients for us. So certainly something to consider. Now, when talking about going out on your own and how to bring clients in the door, let's also talk about starting your own law firm straight out of law school. Can you do it? Should you do it? Yes. If you want to do it and you're ready to go, I am not going to try and talk you out of it. You go do it, and you open that law firm and you do it. That's not the route that I went. So I worked at a small law firm for about 7 years before I opened my own law firm. A bit longer than I wish it was, but you know, I'd had 2 kids in the meantime, you know, while I was there, and so that's just the way it worked out for me. And so I probably would want to get 1 or 2 years of experience in before I open my own law firm. But I do not want to discourage anyone who wants to open their own law firm straight out of law school. You can do it. I support you, and you're a total badass for doing it. I love it. So for me, well, let me just back up a little bit more. I never thought I would open a law firm. That was never the plan, ever. I never thought I wanted to do it. And then after being in a small firm and having a couple of kids, realizing I wanted more control of my time, and realizing that I was at a place where I'd hit the ceiling. There was nowhere else for me to go. And I knew I didn't want to go work for a big firm. I didn't want to go downtown Seattle. I didn't want to have to work 50, 60 hours a week. I don't even want to work 40 hours a week. So I am all about the 25-hour work week. And that's what I do now, and that's what I've been doing for quite a while. You know, I take my kids to school in the morning. I'm picking them up most days. We do have some help. If my kids are sick, I'm home. If something's needed, I'm available and I'm around. And so, but that was important to me, and that was what kind of pushed me to go out on my own and open my own law firm. So when being in a small firm before going out on my own, I was able to kind of see the ins and outs of running a law firm, kind of what to do, what not to do. I was able to really establish a client base. I was able to kind of establish a referral base. So for me, a lot of referral partners can be real estate agents, title companies, mortgage lenders. And so I was able to start developing and build those relationships while I was working somewhere else before going out on my own. And then also I was able to get my name out there while at a small firm. And so I joined various, committees and organizations. I was on boards, and I still do that stuff now, but I was able to do that when I first went out on my own to help build my name and get myself out there. So let's stop it here. We're at about 17-18 minutes. Let's stop it here. So if you're looking to go out on your own, if you just went out on your own, I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of you. I've been on my own for 6 years. I could never go back to working for someone else. There's just no way. Now, it's hard work being on your own, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I mean, I definitely made the right decision in deciding to go out on my own. So I hope this was helpful. If you would like to hear about anything else in my experiences or want some other tips, please let me know. I would love to get your feedback, and have a great day. Thanks.